Can you recognize the quality and the price of the tea just by looking at the leaves and taste the tea? Let's see if we can. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, and today I have the pleasure to be again with Caroline.
Hi!
As you know, here at nannuoshan, we love to share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. If you're also looking to expand your tea knowledge and brewing skill, make sure to click on the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet, and go ahead, click on the like if you enjoy watching the video. Today we have a kind of special topic. Caroline, I didn't tell you what this video is about. She didn't ask, so that's fine. And actually, I have prepared 3 different black teas today that you don't know, or maybe you do, I don't know. And Caroline is going to taste the tea together with me, and she has to guess in a kind of blind tasting, not which tea it is. I already told you it is a black tea, but you have to guess which is the most expensive and the least expensive. Okay. And try to guess the price, let's say for a 50-gram pouch. Okay?
Yep.
So we are outdoor, there are birds. It seems to be, this park seems to be a bird paradise. There are birds everywhere.
There's also bird shit everywhere.
There's also bird shit everywhere. So Caroline, we have to speak a little bit loud, otherwise they will hear only the birds, and maybe the fishermen around hopefully will not complain. Okay, so let's start with the tea that I have here. I give you the opportunity first to look at it, to smell the leaves, to look at the leaves, and see, you start make up your mind. I won't add anything for now about the nature of the tea. Anything you can already tell just by looking at the leaves, let us know.
So it's a black, yeah, obviously a black tea. Yeah, typical black tea, I would say. Yeah.
Typical black tea. Okay. So let's give it a rinse, and these teas were. I can tell you that 2 of them are actually even from the same farmer. So from, I assume even from the same garden. I don't know if it is exactly from the same plant or from the same garden. And the other one is a tea that is from another farmer, but is not very far away. So something like, maybe 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers from the other one. So, I mean, it's likely to be processed in a similar fashion. What can you tell about the smell?
Smells like lemon.
Lemon.
Like extreme lemon.
Extreme lemon. I promise you there is no lemon in this, but I have tasted this tea before. I'm not sure I have recently tasted all of them, but this one for sure, and I had the same impression. There is this very clear, not the lemon peel, I had really the lemon itself, right?
It's like as if you would put a lemon slice in a Lipton tea, like really.
Don't tell that again. By the way, for those of you that maybe are not so much into tea as others, we are here. We have 3 different tea of 3 different qualities, but they are whole leaf tea that have been picked by hand. So there are no tea bags. The leaves are not chopped, are not cut in small pieces because they're picked by hand, so they are whole. So all 3 teas are actually of somewhat high quality, I would say, but there are differences. And let's see if Caroline can spot those. So it is 3 grams of leaves, Caroline, just for your reference. Yeah, citrusy, quite of light on the nose.
Citrusy, malty, I would say also a bit.
Multi sweetness. So you have
in the smell, yeah, and you still smell a bit of, you still taste a bit of the citrus, but of course it's a black tea, so I have more malty and maybe even chocolatey notes, yeah.
And I didn't tell, but these tea, they could be on the website or they could not be on the website. So Just don't think, okay, it must be one of those that we are selling. I will tell you, of course, at the end what they are all about. How do you like it?
So it's good. It's quite a, I would say, a beginner's black tea. Very like straightforward, like
Easy
a
to
bit.
easy.
If you like a bit of a lemon taste, it's really nice. Yeah, really malty chocolatey taste. So it's very nice. It's not particularly complex, but it's good. Yeah.
Not bitter at all. Yeah, that's
Not
right.
bitter at all. Um,
So what do you
so
think
it
is?
doesn't have. So it stays. You get a lot of these first notes, but it's not like it has a big body or something. It's just yeah, it's very pleasant to drink.
So what about the quality? It's try. I mean, we haven't compared it yet, but do you think is a good quality tea, a kind of cheap entry level? You know,
The thing is, I think I remember I had this tea somewhere, but I have no clue where it was.
that's
And it
often
must have
happen,
been the surprise that it was.
a last
Yes.
smell.
Yeah.
Because I don't have tons of water, as you have seen, so I will do just 2 steeping each, and then we switch to the next. That's what I'm doing now. So have a look at the leaves so that you have a comparison. I will put them maybe here on the side.
So the first steep was good. This one is already, the citrus notes have kind of gone.
Start gaining more body maybe.
The thing is, it's not really gaining tons of body.
It remains light, yeah.
It remains light. Wow, these birds are loud.
Yeah, I
They're
hope
louder than me.
I hope they don't go through the microphone as much, but they are really
They are
flying
just
all
there, see.
around. So let's try to speak really into the microphone, Caroline. Oops. So I'll take the second one. Let me think, this was the second one, yes? Here we go. So have a look at the leaves. Remember how the leaves before were. What can you tell us about those leaves?
Oh, so as soon as I smell, it smells like hay to me.
Hay. Okay,
Like
so very
hay.
different than
Yeah,
the other
very,
one.
very different from the other one.
Yeah, it's less aromatic to me. The citrus aroma is completely
Yes.
not there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that hay, but if you say
Oh,
that,
yeah.
I kind of
I
understand
feel like
what
I'm in a
what you
farm.
mean.
If you're in a farm and you have like cows and stuff, and you smell the hay, that's exactly it.
Want to have a last sip here?
Yeah.
Use just a tiny bit to wash it because I don't
Or
want
straw,
to...
sorry. It's like straw.
Okay,
Like
so
more
dry.
than hay. Yeah.
Dry.
Sorry, straw. Yeah.
Okay. Because hay
Yeah,
would mean
hay
that
is
it's a
more
bit
grassy.
grassy.
No,
Yeah.
so this is more straw, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So just to rinse a little bit the cup, just a tiny bit. All right. And let's try the second one here. Let's see what you can tell. So you would say, I mean, at the nose, quite 2 different teas. And you know, the price of tea is not only influenced by the pure quality. That's the point. Here we are really, we have to guess which is the price of the tea that you would pay if you would bring all this tea online, and maybe they are, and you can check the price. And we made some other videos about pricing of tea, because the farmer does not simply taste the tea and decide the price tag based on the taste. They rarely do. They know the price even before picking the leaves. And mainly it depends from the harvest time, in particular for those tea. So an earlier plug of this tea would be more expensive than a later plug, but maybe on that day it was raining and the farmer didn't want to wait, because then if they wait, the leaves grow too large and he loses the harvest and so on, the opportunity of harvesting it. And so he harvested anyway, but on a rainy day, the tea tasted different and usually worse. So maybe you have a high price tag, but not because of the taste. And the color is much more intense, is more reddish. Go ahead. I think I steep it for the same amount of time, more or less. Don't have a watch here. Very different. Look at the leaves.
Very different as well.
Very different. I tried to show that on the camera.
So the leaves, anyway, when they were dry, they were a bit bigger, like big coarser. Like these other ones were really fine.
Yeah, if you put them close to each other, I mean, it's far away from the camera, but these are substantially larger. That's true. And what about the taste? What would Benjamin say about this tea?
He would say it's pelzig auf der Zunge. It means like your tongue feels like a fur. So it means it's slightly astringent, I would say, but not not massively.
Not extremely.
I think
Just
that's also,
in comparison with the previous one.
yeah, because the previous one was very light. So I think it's a perfect tea, you know, to drink in summer. You know, so this one has already a lot more depth.
And what about the aroma?
So I would nearly say like it's probably not from Yunnan, but it still has like a bit of the, you know, woody or like I would say, yeah, woody notes.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
some woody notes. The previous one was fruity, not floral. This is neither fruity nor floral. Maybe a little bit weak of aroma in comparison with the other one. I don't know.
So it's just different. The other one was clearly citrusy or lemony, and this one is for those who maybe are not too much into all these fruity notes, but more like a bit more depth and nearly a sort of Yunnan taste. But I don't know.
Which one do you like the most? Let's put it this way.
I don't know. Like these are so different.
They are
It
different.
really
Yeah.
depends
On the mood
on the
or-
mood or yeah.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I feel the astringency. Yeah.
And I will tell you also which is then the difference in price for the wholesale price, because wholesale price and retail price don't have the same ratio. Usually we don't increase the price of expensive tea that much as cheaper tea, otherwise no one would buy it. So there are extreme differences in the price of tea at the wholesale. Differences that you don't see. I think that the cheapest tea on our website might be €5, €6 for 50 grams. The most expensive, it was 90, but at the moment I think it's about €40. So we have a ratio of about 8. And in the wholesale, you have like 3 times that. Very reddish in color. And while you taste this one, and I put the leaves next to it, and I will proceed with the next one. I think I'll try this way.
So there's also a slight bitterness at the end, like slight
this one.
bitter note. Yeah, at the end.
That in the other one we
Of
didn't
course,
have,
the other
right?
one was pure lemon and light notes. So
Okay. And what do you think? This bitter note is a negative aspect of the tea, or you think is intentional and is good bitterness that should be there?
I mean, it's not a lot of bitterness, so I would say that it's totally normal for a tea. Like it doesn't disturb me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are
Because some
also
teas
people
are
that are
really
into
like-
bitter taste.
Yeah, but some teas are too bitter. It's like there's this bitter note and you have the impression
Like a bite, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a needle going through your mouth, and that's not the case here at all. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll put here the next one. Please have a look at the leaves. What can you tell us?
This smells the best so far
Really?
for me. Yeah.
Do you mean because it is both aromatic and complex?
Yeah. And it nearly has a kind of bit of flowery notes. I don't know. I
Look
feel
how
like
black the leaves are. they are darker than the other one.
Yeah. This one, yeah.
And also a little bit coarser,
Yeah.
in a way, right? So sometimes you have, yeah, it would be interesting because I mean you would expect that if it is really better, maybe it would have smaller leaves, but it really depends on the type of tea. It's not always the case. So let's give. I hope I have enough water. I do very little rinse, and then we go for the taste. There are situations where larger leaves can also be very expensive. So if you take Jinjunmei, of course, very small leaves. If you take Zhenshan Xiaozhong, so Lapsang Souchong, high quality Lapsang Souchong, then you might have also coarser leaves that nonetheless are fairly expensive.
So I really like the smell. It smells like
it's
a white
addictive.
flower.
It's addictive.
A white
Smell
flower.
here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this is definitely, yeah, for me, yeah, it really smells
But-
good.
Karen, remember, try to be objective. It's
Yeah.
not about your taste. It's
Okay.
about the price. Yeah, but it's okay, of course, if
Yeah,
you
well-
share, your thoughts about the tea, and it becomes a bit personal. But the final purpose, we have to put them in the right order and give them a price tag. Of course, I know I cannot play. I will let you guess. And we know, guys, that many of you have told us that you like the blind tasting. You want to see more video about blind tasting. You want to do more blind tasting yourself. So that's why back for Christmas we did also this advent calendar in which you received, those that participated, 24 more small packages of tea with just a number of it. You have to taste it blind, and then the next day we would email you the type of the tea. It was a lot of fun for many of you, so we thought let's continue a little bit on this path, and let's do another kind of blind tasting. And there is a story behind this, Caroline. Once, probably more than 10 years ago, I went in a shop, Lengaste in Bern, and I tried a chimen. It was a chimen honcha, kimun, and it was a tea that I liked. So the owner Kaspar realized that I liked the tea, and he then told me, "Okay, try this other one. This is a superior chimen honcha." So I tasted the superior honcha, and to me there was no difference. I was not able to taste them side by side, but nonetheless I was a bit disappointed because I was expecting something more, and I couldn't tell them apart. A few years later, I did the same in the same shop, and I could really tell the difference and justify the price. So it's a matter of getting used to it. Your word.
Also, it's really nice and flowery. It doesn't become astringent like the second one. So it's really nice. A lot of aroma. It's a lot more complex than the first one.
It tastes also quite different. Do you see some analogies with the other two?
So it's really kind of different. It's very sweet. There's no bitterness so far. Yeah. So even a beginner would love this one as well. Yeah, I think just because if you like these flowery notes, it's really nice. Yeah.
What about bitterness?
No bitterness.
Body?
So it has more body than the first one, I would say. But yeah, it's really nice in the mouth. So it's like.
And what about the texture? We said that the second one was pelzig in German, so the kind of fiery taste on the tongue. That is really a physical sensation, if you want, not the taste.
So this one doesn't have that. I feel. The thing is, it's a bit difficult because we just had, of course, the astringent tea before, so you'd never know
If
which
it is from
tea
before,
is like
okay, yeah.
doing what in your mouth. So,
But it's kind of smooth, velvety, I would say. It's not astringent.
Yeah.
Okay, Caroline, it's time to start, right? I mean, you're describing the tea, but are kind of avoiding. So, put them in the right order. Which is the cheapest in your opinion?
So I think I will say that the lemon one is the first one we tasted is probably the cheapest. Just because maybe it had less body. Still, it can be a tea that can be the perfect tea in certain occasions. I mean, yeah, in summertime, this is something you could probably do a cold brew of, and it wouldn't get, it'd be nice, fresh, zesty, yeah.
And so then the second?
The second one would be the in-between tea, so the second more expensive one.
So no. Okay, yes. And then the third one, the most expensive.
Yes, yeah, the last one is probably the most expensive.
So actually, I put them in the right order, basically. Okay, from cheapest, let's look at the list. Since we have some more water, I will do one last brew of this, just to not waste completely the water, and then I'll tell you the answer. And now let's try to give a price tag, right? If we would sell this tea, or maybe we do on nannuoshan, which price do you think would be for 50 grams? Let's start with the first one here that you say is the cheapest.
Oh. The thing is, I don't have an overview of the prices at nannuoshan.
I have an overview. So the cheapest tea that we have on our shop, but let's speak about black tea so that it's easier for you. It's 10 euros for 50 grams. At the moment, we had cheaper in the past, okay? I think that Zhanghe Gongfu was 7 euros, I think. And the currently most expensive is Jinjun Mei black tea, that is either 25 or 30. I think 30, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's say the first one is 12 euros.
Okay, 12. The second one?
I would say 15, maybe.
Okay, and maybe let's have a look at the last leaves, and then I will reveal you all the details about these teas. You can make your guess. I mean, you have heard about our our tasting. You have seen the leaves. So these are the last leaves, Caroline.
Oh, they're quite larger.
They're quite larger, but despite being large, it's a much better plaque than the second one, right? You see how nicely kind of needle form.
Now that I think about it, the third one reminds me a bit of Oriental Beauty.
In taste.
In taste.
The florality, okay.
The florality is the one from the Dongfang Mei Ren, so an Oriental Beauty tea.
And you see that this one was very dark before, when the leaves were dry, and now the color is very similar, actually. And the first and the last have still very similar shape. These are just smaller, but they are still very rolled, and the second one is full open. Okay, then give me a price.
So I would say the last one is 25.
Okay, 12, 15, 25. All right. So first of all, two teas come from the same factory, these and these. Okay, they are both Yixing Hongcha. So black tea from Yixing. Yes, the place where the teapots come from is also famous for producing a very fine black tea. And they are not on our website because we had an Yixing Hongcha, but we sold it out years ago, and I haven't put them again on offer. The second one is produced 40 kilometers from the first, 40 kilometers from Yixing. You have been there in both places. Is Changxing Zishun Hongcha. This tea is on stock at nannuoshan, is available. You said it cost 15. You can have it cheaper, just 10. That's the cheapest of all three, just 10 euros, the cheapest black tea we have. So I'm happy actually that without knowing it, you appreciate the tea. And in fact, I bought it because I thought it was really a good deal.
So you don't have the two other ones?
Oh. For the other two, I have only, let's see if I can grasp them from here. So for the other, I have just two tiny samples, okay? And I have, so this one here, they say is Xiao Yezhong. They simply say small tea variety, small leaf
It's
variety.
true. The leaves look smaller. Yeah.
Look very small. And we would have to sell it for 25. You guessed maybe 23, 24, but not less than that. And you guessed 12, right? So it is a tea. Would be the second of the three, okay, the second most expensive. And I didn't buy it because I actually like the tea. I like really this citrus so intense. It's not easy to find in black tea, so intense.
Yeah.
But the price tag was a little bit too high. Other friends, tea friends in Denver, have tasted the tea. They were super excited about it. They loved the tea, but that's all I have. Okay, and now we come to the third one. I would have to sell it for 30 euros.
Oh,
So
yeah.
just a tiny bit more than the other one. The difference between the two is not much, but nonetheless, it has also a different name. It is a bit strange. They call it Ishingon Cha, Jin Cha, gold tea, but it's not gold. There is no buds in it. There is no gold aspects in it. It's just because the name is fancy and they want to give it the name. So I mean, somewhat you get close. You got that this, you know, is the most expensive one. You guess the price that is very similar to the one it should be. I didn't buy it, although I liked a lot, because 30 euros for 50 grams is quite a lot for a black tea. And since it doesn't have a name, it's not Jinjume, it's Ishin Oncha, would be maybe a bit hard to sell. That was the reason why. Yeah, and not easy at all, right?
Yeah.
I hope you have tried together with us to guess. Do these yourself. If you buy from a shop different black tea, similar somewhat, just do a blind tasting at home. If you don't know how to do a blind tasting alone, I have done a video about that, so you can have a look. If you have no one like me preparing tea for Caroline, you can really do it yourself without knowing which tea there is in the guy one. If you've enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. And go ahead, subscribe our channel if you want to see more videos like that and are not yet a subscriber. We are ready. We don't want to disturb the fishermen any longer. Thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.